Chapter 74. Listen and repeat. A conversation. What would have happened if she'd understood the instructions? If she'd understood the instructions, she could have passed the test. But she didn't understand the instructions, did she? No, she didn't. And so she didn't pass the test, did she? No, she didn't. What would have happened if he'd overslept? If he'd overslept, he would have been late again. But he didn't oversleep, did he? No, he didn't. And so he wasn't late, was he? No, he wasn't. If you'd driven fast, I would have been frightened. But you didn't drive fast, and so I wasn't frightened. If he'd seen her, she would have explained everything. But he didn't see her, and so she didn't explain anything. What would you have done if I'd asked you? If you'd asked me, I would have helped you. But I didn't ask you, did I? No, you didn't. And so you didn't help me, did you? No, I didn't. What would he have done if they'd put the shirts on sale? If they'd put the shirts on sale, he would have bought some. But they didn't put the shirts on sale, did they? No, they didn't. And so he didn't buy any shirts, did he? No, he didn't. What would have happened if he'd known how to operate a computer? If he'd known how to operate a computer, he would have got the job. But he didn't know how to operate a computer, did he? No, he didn't. And so he didn't get the job, did he? No, he didn't. What would they have had if she'd planted some seeds? If she'd planted some seeds, they would have had flowers this summer. But she didn't plant any seeds, did she? No, she didn't. And so they didn't have any flowers this summer, did they? No, they didn't. Vocabulary. Along with, although, amount, noun, attendance, attention, beyond, preposition, career, noun, club, noun, Columbus, competition, cup, noun, division, down, adverb, following, adjective, football club, for the time being, goalkeeper, sport, in addition to, insecure investment, knockout competition, football, sport, noun, moral, nan, performance points system, practice, sport, reserve, noun, rumor, noun, schoolboy scout, noun, seed, noun, seriously, sportsman, transfer, noun, transfer list, various, whatever, pronoun, whatever, adjective. Verbs. To be frightened, of someone, at something. To drop. To feel, felt, felt. To frighten. To oversleep, overslept, overslept. To plant. To protect, against/from. To realize. To settle down. To spare. To start out. Notes. Although, whatever. Reading. Mark Brown is one of the few people in Great Britain who makes a living as a professional sportsman. He is a player with a First Division football club. Although Mark Brown has taken part in a number of league competitions, his club has not done very well recently. They have not got beyond the early cup matches and have usually finished the season well down in their league. This is one of several things that worry Mark Brown these days. When the team lost match after match, the attendance dropped. Now, there are rumors that a number of the players are to be put on the transfer list. Mark's own performance wasn't very good last year. Perhaps it's because of the low morale on a losing team, but more probably, it's his age. Mark is 32, which is getting old for a professional footballer. Mark began playing football seriously at school, where he began to attract the attention of some professional scouts. In his last year at school, he became a schoolboy international and played for England. He left school when he was 17 and signed a contract with a big league club, and, like most professional sportsmen, his career after that was not his own. Instead of starting out as a member of the first team, Mark was assigned to one of the junior teams, and he played in one of the local leagues. The following season, he became a regular player for the reserves, the club's second team, and often took part in practice matches with the first team. When Mark was 19, he started to play First Division football. 4 years later, his club sold him to another big club, so he had to move along with his wife and 2 small children to another part of the country. He has settled down there and tried to make some investments to protect himself against the day when his football career will be over. He has put whatever money he can spare into a garage. Mark is very well paid. He got £7,500 last year. He'd like to stay in football for 2 or 3 more years, and he'd like to stay in the same town. Because of his team's poor performance, however, he feels very insecure. He's sure of 1 more season. He's already signed a contract for the same amount of money, but he's not making any plans beyond that for the time being. Notes. In this sentence, the expression "a number of" has an indefinite meaning equivalent to "a certain number of." The whole sentence, "they have not got down in their league," can be translated as "non sono andati oltre I primi turni di Coppa e di solito hanno finito la stagione in fondo alla classifica della loro divisione." The adverb "well" here has an emphatic, intensifying meaning. The expression "a schoolboy international" refers to someone who represents their country in sport while still a student. The sentence, "his career is not his own," can be translated as "da allora non ha più deciso personalmente della sua carriera." Comprehension exercise questions. How does Mark Brown make his living? Where has Mark's club usually finished the season? What are there rumors about? Was Mark's performance good last year? How old is Mark? When did Mark begin playing football seriously? When did he become a schoolboy international? Whose attention did he attract? What did he sign? Where was he first assigned? What did he become the following season? What happened when he was 19? What happened 4 years after that? What did he and his family have to do? Why has he tried to make some investments? What investment has he made? How much was Mark paid last year? What would he like to do? Is he going to get more pay next year? Grammar, past perfect. The goalkeeper had injured his leg and couldn't play. The house had been empty for several months when I bought it. She saw 3 empty glasses and realized that 3 people had been in the room. I hadn't visited London before. Had you had dinner when I rang you up? Yes, I had. No, I hadn't. In this section, we present another past compound tense, the past perfect. It is formed by the past tense of the auxiliary to have, had, the same for all persons, plus the past participle of the main verb. The negative past perfect is formed by adding not after the auxiliary. The contracted form hadn't is very common. There is also a contracted affirmative form, I/you/he/she/we/they'd, followed by the past participle, which should not be confused with the contracted forms of would/should, always followed by an infinitive. To form questions, the usual auxiliary subject inversion is applied. In short answers, the usual rule applied with auxiliaries is followed. As for its meaning, the past perfect indicates an action or event that took place before another one in the past, used as a reference point. It can refer either to a single completed action or to a state or condition that lasted for some time in the past. Grammar conditional sentences. Impossible condition if clause. If she had learned how to operate a computer, main clause, she would have got the job. If you had worked harder, you would have passed the exam. If I hadn't known the way well, I should have never arrived. If Columbus hadn't discovered America, the world would have been different. This is the third type of conditional sentence, used when the hypothesis is impossible condition, because it refers to the past, and the speaker already knows that things happened differently. In the first example, if she had learned how to operate a computer, she would have got the job. It means that she didn't learn to use the computer, and therefore she didn't get the job. In the main clause, the perfect conditional, past conditional, is used, formed by would/should plus have plus past participle of the main verb. In third conditional sentences, would/should may also be replaced by could or might. In the if clause, the past perfect tense is used. As for the order of the clauses and the punctuation within the conditional sentence, the same rules as in Unit 71. Comprehension exercise. Answers. 1. He makes his living as a professional sportsman. 2. Mark's club has usually finished the season well down in its league. 3. There are rumors that a number of the players are to be put on the transfer list. 4. No, it wasn't. 5. He's 32 years old. 6. He began playing football seriously at school. 7. He became a schoolboy international in his last year at school. 8. He attracted the attention of some professional scouts. 9. He signed a contract with a big league club. 10. He was first assigned to one of the junior teams. 11. The following season, he became a regular player for the reserves. 12. When he was 19, he started to play first division football. 13. 4 years later, his club sold him to another big club. 14. He and his family had to move to another part of the country. 15. He's tried to make some investments to protect himself against the day when his football career will be over. 16. He has put whatever money he can spare into a garage. 17. He was paid £7,500 last year. 18. He'd like to stay in football for 2 or 3 more years. 19. No, he isn't.